They think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wanted to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. We 48 hours out, man. And things are heating up, man. I was going to do a joint called Heat Check. And this really was going to be a video that I did, like a straight video, no live, just where I just give my little whatever. But a couple things kind of happened that made me change my mind. Man, I got my background set up like I normally do and all that, but I'm dedicating those joints for certain fighters, man. Just going to dedicate those for certain fighters, man. And I still wanted to speak on this, in my travels throughout the day. I had the opportunity to consume a lot of content, do my catching up, figure out who's this, who said that, who, just put my ears out there, put my ears to the street and get a pulse of what's going on. That's mainly why I call this the pulse of boxing. Because I watch, listen, sometimes I comment, sometimes I just observe. And then I also do my own thing, formulate my own thoughts and opinions. And then I'll come out and just do a little excerpt on what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing, about what's going on, and sometimes like the last couple of days, man, I don't know why, man, the sport, it's like, man, it's like a love-hate relationship with boxing, man. It's like it can be so irritating and so irky, but I'm starting to understand it. I'm really starting to understand it, man. Let me get to my people that came in here. Y'all know I don't be looking at no comments. Cookie Monster, Bodywork. Salute Cookie Monster. Easily baked. Salute Bodywork. Cookie Monster say, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Sounding great like you always do. Bars. That's what I like to hear. That I'm loud and clear. You did. I appreciate that. That do mean a lot, Cookie Monster. But yeah, let me get back into this. I'm still kind of digesting something, man. I seen an interview last week. I seen an interview last week. It felt like just a couple of days ago, but again, last week. Perception, right? Late last week, I seen an interview, and it was from the Pivot podcast. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite podcasts out there. And I like how they ask tough questions, they tackle everything, but you can really get a lot of basically gems out of there. And they had the dude Woody McClain. They had Woody McClain on there, which is the dude Kane Tejada. And I like the way Ryan Clark is, man. I mean, the more he talk, it's like that's how, like, man, like the way he look at everything, man. That's like I when it comes to the things on the Pivot podcast, man. That's a lot in many ways, man. I mean, I don't know if it was just because I guess being a cornerback, I don't know what it is, man. But it's not like how the divas are, like the diva wide receivers, but like the shutdown corners. You know what I'm saying? The safety, the one that's trying to stop that shit. Like we think a lot alike, man. And I like the way him, and then I used to love Fred Taylor, man. When he used to tote that rock, man, that boy was nasty. Channing, I didn't know much on the lines, on being on the line scene like that. I didn't really know much about Channing more until got to know him more in the hilarious side that he brings to the show. But I like the way Ryan always quarterbacked that, man. And he asked Woody McClain a question. It's like for some reason, I just been chewing on this answer that he gave for like, it feel like a week now. And I guess it's like a tough pill to swallow. Because they asked him, man, what did you learn? What was the biggest lesson you learned or takeaway you learned from dealing with people in Hollywood? And right off the rip, his answer was to not take anything personal. Oh man, and I'm like, I'm one of them people, man. I'm one of them people that if I come across some information, man, and I fact check it, and I know that it's like, man, it's like I can't. It's like once I know this thing to be something, it's like I don't know if that's some soldier shit or what, man. I don't know what it is, but once I know that to be true, man, I gotta stand on that. And so I don't know, man, like I've been kind of like irritable. You know, I've been cranky, you know what I'm saying? I just been ready to like, you know, and I don't know where it's coming, but I guess it's me struggling. It's me struggling with this concept that he said, man, not to take anything personal. And you know me, I'm the type that a lot of the times when it come down to this boxing talk, it's a lot of time when I get quiet, when I go dark, when it be a couple of days, it's because I don't have anything good to say. You know, I might have my vent session and vent out everything I feel about the sport and where it's going and, you know, what people are talking about. I might do that and then I might just disappear. But I've kind of cultivated, you know, a small little market, a little section of the market that when they rock with me, they rock with me. They understand that, man, because a lot of people that come over here, they come over here because I be talking that real spill. A lot of times I be saying what people are like scared to say, you know, because of, you know, losing subscribers, not being in cahoots with this clan or that clan. I don't care about none of that shit, man. You know, I look at it like this, man. I got on this YouTube by my goddamn self, and for the most part, I run it by my goddamn self, and I'm gonna continue to do it by my goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that this YouTube is really just it's a microcosm of how society is running things. So you're gonna get a lot of, like, right now, like I'm just like, it's so confusing because you know how in the world, right, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Let me put that out there so I won't offend anybody. Don't take this personal. I think the wrong people are running shit in the world, man. You know, I think the wrong people are running shit in boxing talk, man. You know, if I had to liken it to something, I would liken it to like young pastors or ministers, like when they first get into it and they just want to go in that vein. All they want to do is spread a good word, and you know, they want to help people, they want to encourage, they want to motivate, they want to build, you know, they want to like free people's mind and liberate them and give them tools, stepping stones, you know, reach down and pull them up. And as they get more ingrained into that industry, it becomes more about the money. It becomes more about the money, man. And I think that a lot of people get online, man, and initially it's because, man, they just love to talk about boxing. They just love to talk about boxing. They like to interact with boxers. They like the sweet science. They like all this and all that. Next thing you know, they look up, they got a little bit of traction. And now it's all about the sensationalism. It's all about playing this fan base against that fan base. And I've been getting better. I've been getting better here lately, man. I've been getting better the last couple of days, man. But I've been like snappy, you know, irritated with a lot of things that people are saying. And I don't know if that's just like, I don't know, being sober, maybe. Having a clear mind, maybe. It's like I see straight through so much bullshit. Like, it's like, you ever been around a whole bunch of like people that's like drunk or intoxicated and you sober? It's like, it's fun when you drunk and you intoxicated and you high. Like, it's fun. It'd be hilarious. But like when you sober and you got a clear mind, it's irritating, man. It's really irritating, man. It's like I've tried to understand people, man. Like, because they say seek to understand in order for you to be understood. So a lot of times I seek to understand people. I was talking to my lady the other day, and she was just like, I don't like people. And I'm like, man, people be peopling, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, well, you know, people was, and I was struggling with it, but it was like, man, maybe I don't like people. Maybe I don't like people either, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. But a lot of people are showing their true colors online, you know. And a lot of people that come on here about this boxing talk ain't really about boxing talk, man. It's about some other shit. I can't even describe it to you. I can't even really describe it to you, you know, what it's all about, man. But that's just been how I've been feeling about boxing, man. I didn't want. That's why I said I'm not gonna do that video, man. I'm not even gonna do it. You know, so I'll just go live. I'll give my 2 cents about it. And allow whoever got, you know, something to say about it, say whatever they got to say about it. But I'm not gonna go over gaslighting because we already know that it's ever present. But let me get into this, man. That's just my little vent session for how I've been feeling about boxing lately. I mean, it's good. It's in a good space, but like it's just how they say, nasty work. It's just nasty work, man. I mean, what we talking about? We're talking about Keyshawn and Edwin de los Santos, man. Keyshawn and Edwin de los Santos, man. La Grenada. And even though we got a small sample size of the guy, the kind of characteristics that this guy has, the grenade, La Grenada, the kind of characteristics that he got is like, the skill set is kind of like, he plays the perfect villain. Like, you know how, I mean, like in boxing, let's be real, right? It's a lot of people that be like that Mayweather stuff. They got that part down, that AB aspect of being able to talk. And then none of them, there's a couple of them out here that's kind of charismatic that can get away with it, right? They got that Mayweather, that talking that talk. They can talk that stuff. Either them when they followers or whoever they correspond with, they can talk that noise. But it's like you see him inside the ring, you like, hold on, man. We've been hosed, you know. I mean, it's like it don't match. Like the stuff outside the ring don't match inside the ring. And then you get a situation with somebody like the Grenade and De Los Santos, and it's like he speaks very little English. You know, I think he understands more, and I think he probably can, you know, talk a little more than, you know, I think he can talk. I know he was up there in PA. He was up there in Pennsylvania for a minute, you know what I mean? And then, you know, like all predators, man, you're going to adapt. You know how a real predator is going to adapt. They're going to learn the language. They're going to learn how to communicate some shape, form, or fashion. They're going to learn how to, you know, but he don't speak no English. So it's like, but he speaks very little. But inside the ring, he has the qualities of a villain, like a real villain. Like I always be saying this, man, like true villains, like that's why you can't play a villain role. Like in order to be a villain, you have to have weapons. And Edwin de los Santos, I think he's explosive. I think he's I think he can entice you to make mistakes. You know, I think he can entice you to make mistakes, and he has a flair about him. I would describe him as a boxer puncher. And I'm not sure, this is the elephant in the room right now. I'm not sure that when it comes down to Keyshawn, right, it's almost like Keyshawn can thrive in chaos. You know, it was much said about you know, certain individuals who need something to, you know, get them riled up. Like they say that about Bud. Like Bud needs you to say something disrespectful or say something like for him to be like, all right, like basically give me a reason. I see some of that in Keyshawn, man. It's like in the press conferences, in the build up, it's almost like he kind of needs something. He kind of has to draw from something to kind of get amped up about it. And right now, man, I think that it's a little dangerous. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a little dangerous for Keyshawn, and because I looked at it a couple different ways. Like, for one, like, we seen it with Regis. We seen it with Regis when he went home. He had his homecoming that time, and it was just like, man, there was so many distractions. It was so this. Somebody can say, well, you know, he's like, this is his pond. You know, he's a fish in a pond, and that's his pond. So he's comfortable. You know, it's just when you in that situation, man, and it's like all eyes on you, and all these people are like tugging and pulling at you and looking at you for you to be the standard, or looking at you like the hero, and you're looking to like show them like with a cape that you the hero, man. That's not an easy task, man. I think he's built for it. He got the personality for it. You know, he definitely had the personality for it. He's definitely like natural in front of the camera. Like, and he'll keep you engaged by the things that he does. My question is, with all these things swirling around, and in this latest piece with him and talking to Abdullah and looking ahead, it's like, is he underestimating the predator that he got in front of him? His name is La Grenada. His name is the Grenade. You know anything about grenades, you got to use grenades tactically. Like, you pull the pin, like you might pull the pin and it's supposed to go off in a few seconds. Sometimes it don't, sometimes it's a dud. You know, but like when it blows up, if you in the near vicinity, range, standing anywhere in the near vicinity, man, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, in less than a blink of an eye, it's over when it comes down to a grenade. You know, I hear Keyshawn was saying that, you know, he spent a lot of time training. He spent a lot of time training for this fight, and he trained and trained and trained. He said he worked harder than anything, but I'm like, maybe that's a good thing, right? I mean, he's training like he knows, like the way he said he trained, that's the stuff that I was interested in. You know, I'm starting not to get so the soap opera, even though I think we kind of need it, some of us kind of need it in boxing, because some people be so hyped to talk about the press conference, and if the press conference wasn't this and that, then, you know, they don't be so high on the fights. But in this instance, I'm like, you know, a great press conference, yeah. I mean, you know, having legends like Mike Vick, yeah, like having everybody from your hometown, and having your brothers and your family and your mother, because you want to, you know, Mom Dukes, you gotta show off and impress Mom Dukes. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mom used to come to my games, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I really had an S on my chest when she used to be out there watching. So I know that feeling when you got your folks out there watching you. You know, so it's a tall task, and I guess I'm convincing myself that this is what Keyshawn thrives in. He thrives in like the chaos, like supposedly when there's chaos all around him, he can still focus. I'm just wondering if he really know he dealing with a grenade. He really know that he dealing with somebody that, I mean, he playing with the house's money. You know how they say they playing with the house's money, like the dealer, how the dealer be, you know, the dealer like playing with the house's money, man. Like their job is to get you up off of that table. You know what I'm saying? Big bank take little bank. Like they playing with the house's money. It's like if you're not expected to win, and everybody in one breath they'll say, "Oh man, he's coming off this layoff, and he had health issues, and this is how PBC." It's like, man, you better quiet that noise. Don't listen to these fools, man, because this dude, oh my gosh, this is what everybody don't want to talk about. It's like the unthinkable. Like De Los Santos going in there and upsetting the apple cart. Cokie! Glad you went live, Bodywork. We got a lot to discuss. Sits and seat. I appreciate that. Cokie, salute, man. Yeah, just getting to know. Great to see Mike Vick, best player on Madden 04 by far. League did him wrong. He was elite. Yeah. But I was looking at. I've been watching all of the little, all the little sidebar to show the content and everything. Like anything that I could come across, leading up to this, because I was more interested. I guess I kind of didn't want to get caught up in the circus of it all, because it's like boxing and the powers that be, they just driving all these different things to where it's like it's so far left of what boxing is really about that it's like a turn off to me. So I didn't really want to be in that, but I was watching all the shoulder content and trying to gather what I could from watching it. And I see that he got a lot of people, man. If you got the mayor there, you got AI and Michael Vick. I mean, you talking about a person who, my team was whoever team AI was on when it came down to basketball. It's like, I was a 76, just like I'm an Eagles fan. I was a 76ers fan. I don't know what it was about them Philly team, but I was a 76ers fan when AI was there. When he left, I didn't have a team. I didn't have a team. AI was that guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was looking at the Nuggets for a little while. I'm like, man, I just can't get. But like, I hadn't had a favorite player before that since like Clyde Drexler. When everybody was on Jordan, I used to like Clyde the Glide and Gary Payton and the Glove. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why, but it was just certain players that I liked. And Alonzo Mourning. Ironically, Alonzo Mourning was one of my favorite. I like when I was at the free throw line when I was playing, I used to do the Alonzo Mourning. I knew he dribbled that thing 3 times, put it in his left hand, use the sweatband to wipe the forehead, take a deep breath, and shoot it straight down the middle. You know what I'm saying? That was my routine. I got that from watching Alonzo Mourning, man. One of my favorite players too. But to know that you in the shadows of that, like to know that you're in the shadows of Pernell Whitaker, man, you literally was on a football field, and a lot of people don't even really know how nice Allen Iverson was on that football field. But to see Michael Vick and how he was on that football field, and then see how AI was, like they're grooming him or they're ushering him, or he's slated. Keyshawn Davis is slated to be that iconic for VA. And that's a lot of weight, man. That's a lot of weight. And so, like, I'm thinking, man, the way De Los Santos is going in there, he's looking at it like, man, if I could catch this dude, if I could clip him, if I could spoil all of this. Like I could end the night, like he could culminate the night with a very bad ending. So I'm looking at it like, man, I hope it is true that Key he's a cool customer. that he can really operate like that in the midst of chaos all around him. He can still be laser-like focused, because I really think that they're sleeping on De Los Santos, man. And people, you know, when you listen to people online, you know, talking about this, I think that they just looking at like, oh man, he just gonna go in there and do this. And it's also polarizing for how they talk about De Los Santos. They harp more on, you know, it's kind of weird, because when you listen to certain people talk about it, you be like, well, why did Keyshawn pick him? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did Keyshawn pick him again? Because the way they describe, oh man, he been inactive, man, he been having health problems. They over exaggerate, oh, it's been 2 years. And I'm like, man, okay, so why did Key pick him? And why is he number 1 at 30 lightweight right now? Based on what you're saying? But it's like everybody's thirsty for the next icon. So that's what I'm learning about the culture nowadays. When people talk about boxers, they don't talk about like the actual factual. They talk about things that they feel and how they believe. And like AC, you always say, I say perception is reality. But reality is perception now, because if you get enough people online talking about it and hyping things up and stirring up narratives and creating narratives, and man, the words are powerful. And it's a lot of people out here like talking about this fight, and it's kind of weird. You know, I want to know, or we're going to find out, shall I say. We're going to find out who's the predator and who's the prey in this situation. And when I look at the breakdown of the fight, as far as power goes, I think De Los Santos has the edge in power. As far as athleticism goes, slight edge. I would probably say slight edge. I would give the edge to Keyshawn. Coaching and tutelage in the corner, which is perhaps one of the most important things out there. That calm, still voice, or that voice in your corner that can actually speak that language, where it translates to you actually doing what's being said inside the ring, in which Keyshawn says that when the game plan came out for this, he said this is like the second or third time this happened, where he was this time he said he had proof, because he talked to Keyshawn and told him the game plan, and then when they got up with Bomac, it wound up being the same game plan. He said like they just that dialed in, him and Bomac, so that's good. You know, having that coach. So I would say the tutelage or the backing in the corner. I mean, you know, by default, you have to give that to Keyshawn. Hand speed. Hand speed, I think De Los Santos got hand speed. I think he got the quicker. I think he got the quicker hands, the more explosive hands. I think defense wise, I would have to say Keyshawn has the edge in defense. When I look at combination punching, I would probably say Keyshawn, because once he's like one of them things. Once it's a certain run of combinations, where if he catch you with one, he will follow through and give you the 2 and the 3 piece with a biscuit on the way down, if he's in that situation. Now, he hasn't stopped everybody, you know what I'm saying? His KO ratio is not like De Los Santos, but it's a couple people that then, you know, got off. So I would say I would have to give boxing IQ I mean, you would have to. I mean, by default, I guess going to the Olympics and all that. You know, I'm not. I don't know. I look at Key like, the more skilled boxers are the ones that probably give them more problem. The ones that use their feet a lot and really going to like make you like really play like high level chess with you. I don't think this is going to be high level chess. I think it probably should start off as high level chess. I think that it would be, in my opinion, that, man, Key gonna be Key. But if you don't go in there patient and systematically do it, if you go in there like he trying to do game busters and get this man out of there and in 2 rounds, because they're not gonna have to look for each other. That's one thing I do know about this fight. Unless De Los Santos got some tricks up his sleeve and he gonna try to make it. He gonna try to make it. He gonna try to frustrate Keyshawn. If I was De Los Santos, I might do a little bit of that. Box when he want to brawl when he want to box. Like, play that game for a little while, and then boom, he's committed to just being frustrated and wanting to get you out of there, and then that's your opportunity. So I don't think that this will be high level chess. I think this is gonna be boxer punching, where they go in there with a game plan. Whoever makes the better adjustment and whoever has the better timing, will go on to separate themselves in this fight. That's just how I'm looking at it right now. So I don't think that this fight, I mean, other than them, what they gonna be, man, like, cause cutting weight. And I was trying to tell the people that I be chatting with offline. I was trying to tell them for a minute, man, that Keyshawn, man, I seen him in a picture next to Avius Griffin, and I seen him in a picture next to Tiger Johnson, and them 2 dudes are welterweights. And Keyshawn looked bigger, but his legs, I mean, it's kind of awkward, man. I think his upper body is bigger than his lower body of some sort, so it's kind of in De Los Santos, he kind of built like that too, where he got a big back, but he's not really like a big guy. He just kind of look at it depending on how you see him, when you see him. I just think that looked like it was a little height deficit, but I don't know if it really was a height deficit, which, height, that difference in height, I'm not sure. As far as reach, that might be important. That might be important in this fight, but these guys are not going to have to look for each other. I think that it's going to, I don't think this fight goes the distance. I don't think this fight goes the distance, man. If we make it to the 10th round, it's because if it goes to the 10th round, if it goes past the 9th round, I'm thinking that it's because somebody has made a business decision to not be who they say they are and put their hands in their pockets of some sort. That's what I believe. I think De Los Santos know that there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for him going forward because of the style and the fact that if he is active, he's he'll be a tough out. Ain't no telling what he's been working on. But the man say, I survived death. That's how I know, and this and this and that. And he was a man of few words, even when it was translated. But he said he survived death. That's why he know he's going to come in there and do what he got to do. And he almost, from what was translated, he was almost speaking like in parables. Very solemn, very clear. And at the end, he did touch the belt. And he got shoved and he walked away like, yep, Like he nodded his head, like, yep, like basically like that was his purpose, like to kind of get up under Keyshawn's skin. And did he succeed? Maybe a little bit. You know, maybe a little bit. But I know Key going in there with a no fear type mindset. You know, it's gonna be no fear, and hopefully he's focused. You know, because it's a lot riding on him. As far as the Abdullah Mason stuff, I like Abdullah Mason's approach as far as being focused, keeping the main thing, keeping his eye on the prize, which is the guy Nakathia. That's gonna be interesting to see how he approaches the fight, knowing that Nakathia can crack from what everybody say. But it's a lot of film on him, you know, and I think that it was more of I think Keyshawn caught Abdullah off guard. I don't really know if he was expecting to be put on a spot like that. You know, so I mean, I hear a lot of people making a big deal about that, saying he not ready and this and this and that, but I don't believe that Abdullah's not ready for the challenge, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I actually be wanting to see. That's one of the barometers, because it's you know, when you talk about when people get mad when you say that one guy is the guy in that division, and even though they always like reevaluate, you know, the level of talent that he faced, and the fact that a lot of people are just mad because they can't avatar him and make him fight who they want him to fight, so they'll just depreciate everybody that's across from him. But one thing, when you look at somebody like Tank, these guys was either champions or he was taking people's O's. And so I'll be asking, like, out of these guys, this new crop, who is actually taking O's? Like, when you look at Ryan, when you look at Rolly, when you look at Hector Garcia, when you look at Frank Martin, it's like people like they downgrade or devalue what they were after Tank fought them. But I'm like, who's going around doing that? And then and at the same time knocking everybody out. Like, so only 3 people went the distance. Only 3 people lived to tell about it. You know what I'm saying? Only 3 people survived. Everybody else got whacked. One of them was what, an 8-rounder? 6-rounder, I think. 6 rounds, I think. Before Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach. The other one, I think that was a 6-rounder. It was earlier on. But that's like, man, like, who's actually doing those type things? So it's a lot of things, man. I heard some people, man, and I'm not taking none of it. I'm not taking it personal, man. It's gonna, like, what that dude Woody McClain did when he said don't take it personal. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna take these things that these people online be saying because they are just trolling. They're just trying to engage their audience and say whatever it is to tickle the fancy of the people that will sit there and listen to them. But there are a lot of people that's out there, man, and that just their standards are wishy-washy, man, and you try to go by their rules and their logic. Like, a lot of the shit that they be saying don't make no sense. So I was trying to put Keyshawn up on that. I was trying to put him up on that scale too, but I'm seeing now he's gonna be like Devin. He's gonna be like Boots. Devin, Boots, Bud, and to a certain extent Canelo, where you can't have honest talk about them guys. You're not gonna be able to talk honestly about these guys because the way they have their fan base and how they are, when it comes down to their fan base, they're not gonna keep it a buck about them. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. And then when you point out sheer raw facts about them, they're gonna definitely get offended. So it's like it's no fun talking about these guys. So some of these guys, like for me, some of these guys are starting to become like off limit guys where I'm not even gonna be talking about them because the people that follow or push this bullshit about them, they don't really want to just talk boxing. They just want to have a sausage party. So that's why I said, man, ain't even no need me doing the video that I was doing. This one ain't even no need of me doing it, man. I'm just looking for a good fight. The undercard is lit. You know, I want to see Derek. I want to see that guy Derek, the guy from the DMV scooter. I want to see him. I want to see Abdullah. I want to see another with Tiger being at 147 now. I definitely want to see more of him and when he let his hands go. I like Tiger when he really let his hands go. I really like Tiger when he let his hands go. That's why I wanted to see I used to kind of want to see Tiger and Elvis Rodriguez, man. I don't know what happened with Elvis, but I think that fight, that shit probably would have looked a little funny for the first 4 rounds, and then like 5 through whenever it's over, it would have exploded, man, and it would have been something. Because they kind of, in some ways, they kind of fight. I think Tiger might got a little more tools than him, but they kind of both start off kind of slow, and then they figure out. And Tiger, he used to let that boom go, and I think now with his coach Prentice, he's saying that he feel more comfortable. So I'm excited about seeing him. You know, I'm excited about seeing Tiger, and the elephant in the room. Man, I salute them because they gotta be operating in supreme confidence, man. Because I remember, you know, it's like those of us who've been watching boxing, right? Those of us we remember when, let's say, Maul and Mel was fighting on the same night. It's crazy when, you know, when brothers are fighting on the same night. And so they got to go through the anxiety of watching and hoping that one brother succeeds or whatever happened. And then the other one, you know, got to go out and fight. We also seen it with Mr. Gary Russell. We seen it with Mr. Gary Russell and his brothers. You know, and him, you know, doing all this stuff and, you know, being in the corner and then having to go get ready and all that. So it's an interesting dynamic. And with Nair Albright, you know, having shared the ring with Keyshawn, and a lot of people are coming around to actually realizing that Kelvin actually has a skill set. He actually has a skill set. Kelvin was one of the ones I seen when I first seen him. I said, man, with his frame and his style, I said, oh man, he could be very dangerous, man, because and he be showing flashes of brilliance. But sometimes I don't think he let his hands go enough. But the elephant in the room is if you go out there and Nair Albright been working on some things and something crazy happened in that fight, how would that affect Keyshawn? Will he turn all the way up? Will it mess up his game plan? Because we've seen it. We've seen it with other brothers. There's history. There's a track record of other brothers doing that, like, you know, performances before. So it's like, it's a very intriguing card because, one, it's a lot of good fights on that. It's a lot of nutritional value in this, in the whole card. Like, the whole card is lit. When I first seen the card, I was like, oh my gosh, the whole card is lit. You know what I'm saying? And they doing it because we was gonna go. I think after going to that Boots one, I was like, baby, sometimes that's like I be liking going to them. I was like, but sometimes I think I kind of like being at home where you can be more comfortable and you ain't got us. But we was gonna go. Initially, we was gonna go. We said, and I said, nah, you know, cause we trying to do some things, man. we're trying to do some things at the end of the summer, and you know, plans is plans. That's why I've been working as hard as I've been working, man. I don't think y'all realize how hard I've been working lately, man. But when I told myself, whenever I get accomplished what I need to get accomplished during the day, it's okay for me to talk boxing at night. So I allow myself to be able to talk when I check every block that I say I need to check. But I work so hard, man. My lady be like, man, I don't ever get to see you no more. And I be tired, man. I be tired. But it's gonna pay off, man. It's gonna pay off. His twin, Bodywork. Salute his twin. But the card is lit. You know, I applaud. You know, I'm actually on the end of this is the end I'm on. I'm not going to get caught up in the crazy stuff between the fighters. I'll do my shows. I'll highlight everybody's hypocrisy. You know, when I hear them, or maybe not sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll just give my opinion and then just stand on that and just let whoever think whatever they want to think, you know, about it. But I'm not going to get off into the opinion and some of the politics and like the voices around boxing and the messy ass people around boxing and people that when it ain't about racism and start becoming colorism and light skin, dark skin shit, all this dumb shit, man. It's a lot of dumb shit going on in boxing. So I'm gonna hold that off to myself, and I'm gonna enjoy these fights, man. Like I said, I don't have a dog in this race. You know, well before I really was like on the Keyshawn, I actually like how De La Santos fight, and I like this style. I was on it when well before he even fought. When I first figured out that it was potential that him and Shakur was going to fight, I was one of the first people. If you go back and look at it, one of the first people with a thumbnail up in the video talking about the fight, and I think it was about 9 months before the fight happened. Just by going down the rankings and looking at, you know, just the tea leaves, going down the rankings and saying, man, this fight would be awesome. You know, so I've been De La Santos. He's been one of my guys beforehand, and you know, I like and respect Keyshawn, man, but that's about it, man. That's about it when that comes to that. I'm not gonna be on the bandwagon. I see a lot of Haneyeites though. A lot of Haneyeites, man. A lot of Haneyeites is jumping ship. You know, a lot of people abandoning old Shakur, man. It's kind of crazy, man. Shakur he got to handle his business with Zepeda, man. That stock and the way Keyshawn's climb is and how, man, I know Shakur sitting up there like with his hand on his chin bone, like, I ain't never got this kind of treatment. I ain't never got this kind of treatment that Top Rank is doing. I know it's getting interesting, man. Just looking at how everything going, it's getting very, very interesting seeing how Top Rank is moving. That's another thing with Top Rank giving him these liberties, you know, or if it was best laid plans. I don't know. I give Keyshawn all the credit in the world for taking this. You know, taking a guy on like this and taking him to your crib, health, you know, inactive, all that, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he been boxing for a long time. He has a unique set of skills. So to invite this man basically to your homecoming and giving him an opportunity at your strap, man, he had to reach down in his pantalones and see that he had a big set of cojones, man, to be able to do this. So I'm not buying into the narratives about, you know, just being a cherry pick and all that. Like, you know, people gonna question the activity and all that, but that's just the messy people and, you know, the people that want to, you know, whatever. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it like you bring this man to your homecoming in front of all your friends, all your family, in front of Mike Vick and AI and 757. Like, that's a big risk. But when you're a predator and you know what you're doing, the most predators study, man. But we gonna see who's predator and who's prey. And I just want to enjoy the fights, man. I'm not gonna get caught up in the hoopla, man, no more. I'm gonna try not to anyway. You know. So I wanted to, since I wasn't doing this video, I just wanted to come out and speak on it. I think that I think this is going to come down to how cool Keyshawn is under pressure. Because I haven't seen anything like I've seen a skill set. I've seen him have flashes of some of the things that Bud can do, especially the combination punching and, you know, like the technique. He got that down. Like, you could tell he been soaking up some of that game. It's just, as far as the level of opposition and the timing, you know, it's like, I don't know. We don't know if it's fool's gold. We don't know if it's real. You know, because I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him against Andy Cruz, man. I didn't think that needed to be built. What else it needed to be built about? I mean, what needed to be built? Like, years and years needed to go by. You know, now I question whether or not we ever going to see that fight. So I don't think we're ever going to see that fight. I think, and ironically, I know he's talking to Abdullah, and he's next in line with the WBO, but you know, we throw out how Top Rank been doing things and how now they got all of the belts, which they've had all of the belts. When you look back at it, they've had all of the belts. You know, when they've had all of them belts, all but the WBA. They've been over there on Top Rank. People don't be talking about that. So I'm not even going to talk about that. But it's been the same thing over in the Lomachenko, T.O., Devin. You know, who had it? Baranchek. You know, they've been over there on that side the whole time, and people don't, you know, they don't talk about that. But I think that Keyshawn and Abdullah are probably gonna see each other at 40. Yep, I think they're gonna see each other up there at 40. And it's crazy, like Frank Martin come back. It's just wild, man. It's just wild, man. It's wild. But I did hear Frank Martin's take, and Frank Martin said, listen, he pretty much said, but that's why I say don't take my word for it. Listen to what Frank said. And this has already been on wax, my assessment of this fight. Me and AC went in on this fight, you know, a minute ago and gave our real honest take about it and how dangerous of a fight this was, you know. But Frank Martin came out recently and said, listen, this is a legitimate test. And he said, after seeing Keyshawn, he said, depending on how this Keyshawn thing goes with De Los Santos, he said, then I can pretty much tell you what I really think about Keyshawn. He said, but so far, he said, everybody he's faced, he's been the superior fighter to all of them. And you can tell. But these are the same things I'll be saying when I talk about Devin, when I talk about Boots, when I talk about some of these guys who you never really see them at a disadvantage. And I be getting accused of being a hater. Well, we're getting ready to get a very big test. You know, if, you know, Keyshawn go in there and splatter this man in like 3 rounds, yes, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's 100% Cambodian. Oh, and my Dave Chappelle boy, that's 100% Cambodian, you know? You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see who's predator and who's prey, man. You know, I think a lot of people they're personally invested in this fight. They're personally invested in this fight, so they feel the way they feel, man. If shit do go sideways, man, ooh wee. You know, as a boxer fan, as a guy who analyzes fights, as a hardcore fan, like people been trying to shame people for being hardcore fans over being whatever. Like, it's just crazy, man. I noticed that some people, no matter whatever I say, they're gonna choose the opposite. If I say I'm a hardcore, man, I don't care about the hardcore. I mean, I'm casual. I don't get into that. If I say I like De La Santos in this fight, they're gonna like Keyshawn. You know, I just noticed that, man, online. I got a lot of people that they wait and choose the opposite end. It's kind of funny watching it. You know, well, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't have a dog in this race. But I wouldn't be surprised, man, because I've been saying this is the year of the underdog. Because even when the underdog didn't win or get knocked out, like some of them got robbed on paper, but this is the year of the underdog. That's what it's looking like. It has been very interesting, man. And when you look at it, especially when people start having these best laid plans and they start looking all ahead, like, man, you do not listen. If you're dealing with a grenade, you do not want to be looking ahead. You want to be focused on that grenade. You want to be focused on neutralizing it. You know what I'm saying? You want to neutralize it. You want to make sure that you've eliminated all threats or possibilities, but you got to know where it's at all times. Make sure that it's secure. You know, you don't want to look past a grenade. You know, you really don't. Johnny Allison, a Bodywork was working. Man, salute Johnny. Salute, man. I forgot, man. I thought I put the link out, man. Shit. My bad. Question is Keyshawn really that one? I can't tell, man. I can't tell. And a lot of people that I talk to about this, they kind of close with Keyshawn, and they a lot of their shit is just biased for him, man. They just biased. They're not gonna give me a real answer on them. So I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to talk about boxers with, like, when you an insider and you got a vested interest in the boxer, I don't even want to talk about it with you. I don't even want to talk about boxing with you, man. That's just where I'm at now, man. It ain't no point. There's no objectivity in sight, man, because the same lenses, the same standards, the same things we judge everybody else on, we don't do that when it comes to the people that we bias for. So it ain't no fun. You know, it wind up being a sausage party where you just gonna say, oh yeah, man, you just gonna beat shit all down this person leg. I'm like, well, how you gonna do it? Oh man, he trained with, oh man, you know how they train. Okay. All right, man. There ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Just be praise and worship. You know what I'm saying? I stopped doing that kind of shit years ago. I don't do praise and worship, man. You know, the presser was lit. Keyshawn was a huge part of that. Yeah, he got, he on his businessman. Like, that's why I say he got the intangibles and the things that it take a while to, to culminate in a fighter. He got all of that. He got the personality. He got like you could tell, like, you know, playing sports and all that. Like most people, especially playing football, because football, like growing up for us, football was that, like, you used to being, especially if you was any good, you used to being in the spotlight. Like you used to like the attention and not, because football is like, you know, it's just like eating, sleeping, you know, football. That's what it was. And I think, you know, from what he said, you know, he was decent at that. He was decent with that pigskin. He got the personality. You know, he has the showmanship. He got that, you know, he got the it factor when it comes to all of that. The question is, it's certain, like, if you listen to what Abdullah said, when Abdullah said, man, he basically said, man, he said, I'm getting it honest, or I got it honest. And that day when I did that thing about Abdullah, when I asked if Abdullah was the prototype, and we talked about his resume and how he's been developed and not fast tracked, because a lot of people dismiss a lot of things on Abdullah's resume because they can't look at a boxer in a vacuum. They can't look at a boxer in a vacuum, so they don't look at how they've been developing Abdullah Mason. It's just like when you take Richardson Hitchens and you look at his resume. He never fought somebody with an upside down record. It's like they can't look at Richardson in a vacuum and judge him based on his, like, the true resume, not all the stuff he's saying and doing, but look at the level of competition and how long he's been fighting that level of competition, and the fact that he's never fought somebody with an upside down record. It can't do that. It's all the things outside and the pandemonium for these other fighters that they don't give certain fighters a level of respect. So when you look at it, Abdullah Mason has been being developed. You know, he has not been fast tracked. That's why. And so it's wild when you say stuff like Top Rank Diet, because they'll, like, especially the, you know, the Haney voice. Let's just say the Haney voice. The Haney voice, man, they will come out and they would tell you, oh man, you know he was on that Top Rank Diet. Like when it's convenient for them. But then when you say something like, oh man, well, you know how Top Rank get down. Just like with the whole, you know, I think if you can't recognize it now, to make my point very clear, let me make my point. If you can't recognize it now when it comes down to these belts and how certain promotional companies move, they all kind of move the same way, but you got to look at it divisionally. So at 35, Top Rank's been locking down 3 out of the 4 belts pretty much the whole damn time. So all that, this ducking this and this won't duck, it's like, no, look at where the belts are now. Even with Loma retiring, look what just happened and where them belts been. But people don't want to keep it real. They just want to hate on one guy. They want to put all the power on one guy. But look at where those belts been over the years. Look at who had those belts over the years. That's been true right up under everybody's eyes. The maneuvering. That's why I don't think Abdullah and Keyshawn gonna fight next. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know. I know they want to do the build up, but remember when we thought we was about to get when we thought we was getting ready to get Boots and Speedy Rashidi Ellis, right? What wound up happening? Boots had a bad performance against Karan, and Speedy Rashidi, even though he won that fight, you know, they Vila came on late, and you know, it was a couple knockdowns, and Vila wound up getting his hand raised, even though everybody thought that Speedy Rashidi still won that fight. It was too little too late. But what wound up happening when they got ahead of each other and was talking to each other in the press conference? Boots had like with the first performance where they was like, what the hell? What the helly? What the hellion? What the helliante? Against Quran. And Speedy Rashidi, man, he suffered the L. We ain't seen Rashidi, you know, we've seen him, but not the way we want to see him after that. So I don't want to get distracted by that, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, man. Let me see. Football in the US like hockey here in Canada. Yeah, man. Yeah. We love some football. You see what Abdullah interview afterwards with Fight Hab? It was pretty tough. I haven't seen that one yet. Salute Ray B. Cook. Yeah, man. I'm just speaking on everything how I know, man. I mean, how I see it. And I can do that, man. I gave myself permission to be myself a long time ago. And it kind of works for me, man. Why? Because I can't do nothing else. What's up, Johnny? You got a question? I think Abdullah and Keyshawn, I think they both too big. But see, I look at things different, man. I look at things so different because look, the way I see it, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. People were sitting up here trying to wonder and try to figure out, like, I guess people didn't like the opinion. I know a lot of people didn't like the opinion I had. Because I had no desire for T.O. to get a paycheck, for one. You know, that's just me. And for two, at one point in time, T.O. and Devin, that was a great fight. You know, that was a great fight, you know, at one point in time before the Ryan and Devin fiasco and before seeing, you know, Devin come back in that Jose Ramirez thing. And it's like, yeah, like on paper and all that, but I don't care about these people money. I don't care that it was $11 million that he turned down. I like, what that got to do with me? I'm not getting none of it. And so, and then on the other end, it was like, if somebody were to, you know, put hands and feet on T.O., sure, Boots probably could have did it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I would say that's like 80-20, you know what I'm saying, in favor of Boots, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So I was like, if I really wanted T.O. to get his ass beat, I would want Boots to do it, because Devin ain't gonna beat his ass. He gonna win the boxing match, and then the, you know, YTCB, they gonna run all around line like, you know, Devin just, you know what I'm saying, sent one up like Sabril Matias. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even like we talking about at least I would like to see at least a Rescindes. If I be like, hey, can I get a Rescindes? Because Rescindes just gave, like, because everybody being so passive about how Caleb Plant, you know, got outclassed or how he dropped the ball. It's like, no, he got beat the fuck up. So I wanted T.O. to at least get a Rescindes. So if I ever say Rescindes, man, let me get that Rescindes. Just a good quality beat down. You know what I'm saying? Good, strategic, systematic beat down. Right? But then I looked at it, being like keeping it in the same vein that I am. I said, hold on, man. Giving T.O. the Boots, why would we give Boots a layup like that? I'm tired of seeing 40s move up and fight. I'm tired of seeing Boots, like, I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see the Ferrari against the Lamborghinis. I don't want to see the Ferrari against the souped up Porsche. Like, I don't want to see that. So I'm like, man, I didn't want to see Devin fight T.O. and I didn't want to see Boots fight T.O. But you know what would make too much goddamn sense? This make don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody this. But after Jen Sasaki, you know, granted, we're not gonna look ahead. But if this guy right here, don't tell nobody. This guy, if he were to get past Jen Sasaki and Teofimo, really want to prove his greatness, yeah. If he moved up to 47 with somebody that's gonna be there, that would really make a statement, yeah. Cause why? He ain't gonna run. Brian Norman ain't gonna run. You know, you would have to say that T.O. would have all the experience, right? He can get up there, he can stand by, and they both on Top Rank, unless he gotta be wholeheartedly committed to Turkey. So he not with Top Rank, but he with Turkey. I think he's still with Top. I don't know how that works. He's still with Top Rank, but he with Turkey. I don't know. I just know that's either way, with Turkey being just the people, the bag of the turkey bag, man, that would make. But guess what? You know what else would make sense? Instead of all of that yipping and yapping, if Keyshawn were to get past this guy, he could do the same thing to T.O. Because I remember when everybody was ragging on Bud, right? Everybody was ragging on Bud, saying that when he moved up, he picked the weakest link. Even though a lot of people wanted to fight, everybody wanted that Jeff Horn smoke. Everybody wanted it, but Bud used, what did Bud use? He used that good old WBO. So I say, man, instead of these guys talking and yipping and yapping, force T.O. You smack the shit out of this guy and you go to 40 and let your second division killing spree go on with Keyshawn. Move up and make T.O. either fight you or vacate that belt. But guess what, T.O.? If that porridge, that Keyshawn porridge, it might be a little bit too hot for you. You know what I'm saying? You need something more that's just right. Guess what? You could move up and make Brian Norman fight you or vacate. All you had to do is go to the sanctioned body, petition, let them know, hey, this is what my intentions are, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. Let them look it over and see what'll happen. But you know what? That would make too much goddamn sense. Because I was also the same dude that at one point in time when Sabril Matias couldn't get a fight, right? He couldn't get a fight. And Boots couldn't get a fight, but they both was under the IBF. I was saying, listen, man, Sabril, you can't get a fight, man. You might as well go ahead and see Boots. Y'all both under the IBF, Sabril. Go ahead and fight Boots. But guess what? I was also saying, Boots, listen, man, we already looking at you like you the biggest, baddest thing down here at 47 now that Errol and Bud are gone, right? We pretty much thinking, okay, you probably beat shit down everybody's leg down here, right? Boots, you got IBF. Bakram Murtazaliev just beat the shit out of Zoo. Stopped him. Use your IBF. Go ahead and holler with the IBF and then go get Bakram. But people be trying to say I'm crazy for having that kind of logic. It's like, no, I have the same logic for everybody. I have the same logic for everybody. Those things would have too much goddamn sense, in my opinion. Have you watched Keyshawn's Camp Life? I'm going to start a few episodes myself after the pressure. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I seen it. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard, man, because Keyshawn is a performer, man. Keyshawn's a performer, and I think that you know, trying to read too much into, like, he's performing. He knows Keyshawn knows what to do and say in front of a camera, man. So that's how I look at it, man. He knows what to do. He know how to act. He know when to be calm. He knows how to tug at people's heartstrings with certain shit. Like, he knows, like, he's well trained, man, and he pick up on things pretty fast, man. He pick up on things, like, he catch on a little bit faster than these other guys as far as, like, so I can't judge that. Like, he's a performer. I don't believe that what you see in front of the camera is like how he really is. I think he's smarter. I think he's smart enough to know how to act when he's in front of the camera, which is impressive because this is working for him. Almontes, De Los Santos going to beat Keyshawn. That's what you think, Almontes? Salute, Almontes. You think he is? Dos Santos, nah, easy work for Keyshawn. I'm starting to be a believer. We shall see, man. We shall see, man. I know it's people that, you know, I don't want to offend nobody. It's a lot of people that got relationships with the man, but I'll put it like this. If it was an upset on Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I'm gonna put it like that. I would not be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised, man. This is a grenade. I'm not saying he the most dangerous man. I just know that he shared the ring with so you gotta take into consideration that he shared the ring with a boxer like Shakur with a bad hand. And you gotta think he gonna be licking his chops the same way I say Frank was probably licking his chops, not taking that fight. And I told her, I called it. I said, man, damn, Frank. I said, man, you jumped out of that fight with Shakur to go get knocked out by Tank. And that's what came to pass. Even though Frank was one of my guys. You know, so he had the experience of being in there with Shakur. You know, it didn't go to plan, but like at that fight, I mean, you could say Shakur won. I mean, everybody hang their hat on that, like, but I don't even think that I don't know. I mean, other than like a champion, how people gloat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let me put it like a dub is a dub. But the way people act like the dub that Shakur got over De Los Santos was like the dub that Bud got over Spence. I'm thinking those are two different dubs, man. Those are two different dubs, in my opinion. So, you know, he had the experience of being in there with a defensive, you know, specialist in every sense of the word. And I know he knows that he left something on the table in that fight. You know, he also been in there with El Rayo, who went on to get a belt. You know, and being a boxer puncher, maybe he can use a little boxing to frustrate Keyshawn. You know, have Keyshawn in like, oh, I thought you was coming in here to fight, and like get him frustrated a little bit. You know, brawl when you want to box when you want to brawl, like I said earlier. Mix it up. You know, because from what I've been seeing, this might look like this might look like this, man. Y'all remember that year Y'all remember that year when the Ravens? Remember that year it was supposed to be the Ravens year, and they ran into Tennessee. When Tennessee had Derrick Henry, this before Derrick Henry came over here. But the Ravens was just steamrolling. The Ravens was doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do all year. And it's because of the level of competition. Like I say, the year, not this year, not this year, but the last time when we won the Super Bowl. I'm an Eagles fan that say, hey, listen, man, that year we didn't have to, as far as strength of schedule, we had like the weakest strength of schedule. You know, we also had but it's 2 seasons. Everybody know that. So in the regular season, we had the weakest strength of schedule. In the second season, which is the playoffs, for anybody who know anything about football, we showed up and showed out. Nick Foles led us to the promised land. He had to. Right? But when Baltimore was having their way with everybody a couple years ago and they ran into Tennessee Titans because of the level of competition, they was able to do that against that level of competition. When they ran into the Tennessee Titans, whole different ball game. Whole different ball game, man. And I think that this is one of them things where it's like you looking at that Gustavo Limos who came in there after going through that IBF and you know with Richardson Hitchens, where it was a war. That was a little war, right? You looking at Ira Baranchek off of inactivity, who just beat the shit out of Navarrete, but at 35, Navarrete wasn't shit at 35, and he just went down to 30 and got his shit busted open. So this would be the hat trick. Now, this what I was gonna call this heat check. He's on a 2-win knockout streak. If Keyshawn can knock this dude out, that's a heat check. You know how in the game in basketball, when they give you the rock, you done hit a couple and then they give it to you. Like it might just be like, man, you got plenty of time. Y'all can run it. Y'all can pass it a couple times. Y'all got plenty of time, but you grab the rock and you do a heat check. Like, let me see if I still got the hot hand. You shoot. That's what this is. But I'm trying to tell you that this level of competition, this ain't no Gustavo Limos, and this ain't no Ivan Baranchek. It's not. You know what I'm saying? And everybody banking on the fact that he been inactive. This is not that guy. This is not that guy. Because we've seen where, like, let's just take if you look at common opponents and all that, like if you look back, I don't know. I'm gonna say it like this. De Los Santos has never fought a Keyshawn either. De Los Santos has never fought a Keyshawn. I mean, we seen a spot with Nair Albright. Nair Albright got, you know what I'm saying, he got some good, you know what I'm saying, he got some good work in there with Keyshawn. A lot of people were talking about that. Oh man, you see when Nair did this, it's like if Edwin De Los Santos touched that chin, if De Los Santos catch that chin flush, man, it's gonna be a different ball game. It's gonna be a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. I mean, it's gonna be a different ball game, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, I don't want to offend nobody. But it's gonna be a different ball game. Fact, Shakur won, but Edwin didn't really lose. That's how I was saying. I'm like, it wouldn't be nothing I'll be in the mess hall with my chest out about. I'm like that. But that's just the vanity of some fighters, man. But it is a win, and he got millions of dollars for it. So I understand in the vein of you being the guy, you being the guy that actually got the money and was in the ring and all that, you got a pride in being able to do that, because you can say more than I am, me sitting on my couch, right? Me being a fat blob on my love seat, right? With all my love handles and all that, just eating potato chips and ice cream and shit. Like, yeah, me, you can say that to me. But I'm like, for me, you know what I'm saying? Me looking at that, that's not nothing I be in the mess hall with my chest out about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't punish this dude. Like, I seen Mr. Gary Russell Jr. punish Mark Maxayo with one arm. Like, punish him. And if my memories, what was that? It's good. Okay, was that his he was, I think what was so crazy about that was that I think it was his left shoulder as a southpaw. So all you got is your lead hand. And he punished Mark Maxayo when they robbed that man. I seen Tank. That's one of the time when you go back and you look at that Pitbull Cruz with one hand and how he was boxing and all the, you know, he had to come out with the tools that fight, and he boxed. It was just like, man, you set a record. I mean, you ain't do but so much. They could have called that shit a draw, in my opinion. But he gets so much credit. He gets so much credit for that fight. I mean, I guess he get the credit for being able to bluff and show that he's smart, and that's a masterpiece, is how he can get out of there. But like, for me as a boxing fan, you know what I'm saying? As a Shakur, that shit ain't do nothing for me. But Almonte say De Los Santos will outbox Key. Yeah. Great point. Yeah, but Navarrete takes all the smoke, unlike a lot. But hey, man, don't get me started on Navarrete, man. It just be different strokes, man, because again, one of these big ass channels, they'll sit up there, they'll praise Navarrete, you know, I guess because his background and he's part of the bigger, broader culture and how they do things. You know how Bodywork get down. We don't believe in that light skin, dark skin shit, that all that other shit. Like, we don't be into that we don't be into all that color and all this other stuff that people be into nowadays. Shit that they bring up. We not into that shit. But they'll sit up and tell you how Navarrete is like a weight bully in one breath. But then they'll praise him for doing, it's like he's a weight bully. The dude should be at 35 at least. The man big as shit. But then they are the same people that be all on, you know who. I'm not gonna bring him, you know, the dude that was ballooning up 25 pounds and all that, like, not fighting in his weight class. And when he finally fought somebody his size and his height with his reach, and he have all them advantages, we saw. That's all I'm saying, man. We don't know nothing. We love the performances and we love these things that happen, but until we see these guys matched up to where they don't have all the advantages, or even sometimes they're at a disadvantage, if you were the one fighting, it would kind of be silly for you to allow yourself to be in there with a disadvantage. But I find it crazy how these dudes we walk around like they King Kong, beating their chest, and they always beating up on somebody smaller or little or not as fast or not as athletic or not as strong or, you know, not as active or don't have the same IQ, not from the same pedigree, don't have the better coaches. It's like, well, what are you bragging about? What are you bragging about? Like, I'm not like that, man. I'm not like that, man. I used to stick up for people, man. I see somebody doing some shit to somebody and they ain't. It's like, man, you know they ain't on your level. That shit infuriate me, man. That's why I say I've been born in this at a certain period of time, but like, nah, man. I wanted to see what I could do. And most of my fights been with people that's bigger than me. for the most part. Most of my fights been with people that's been bigger than me, man. I don't know, man. I guess that don't really equate in the boxing world, and this. It's really about perception. But when you go back and you look at some of these fights, man, when these dudes line up across from each other, man, and they looking at each other, like when you go back and you look at some of these fights, man, you be like, man, they really let this fight take place? Like, anyways, man, I wanted to bring some clarity, man. I'm not gonna hold. Like I said, I'm not gonna do the video, man. I'm just gonna do the live. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the background and all that I had for it, but I'm gonna leave it at this, man. Who's predator and who's prey? We're gonna find out in 2 days. If Edwin land that right shot, it's gonna get interesting. I know it is. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I mean, that's a lot of pressure, man. But hey, they say he built for it, man. They say he built for it. I just think that, you know, you got people out here telling this man that he better than Tank. And I don't know, man. But watch, we gonna see. Like, if this, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't got a dog in this race right here. I don't got a dog in this race, man. I mean, De Los Santos I've been like in De Los Santos for a minute, man. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he were to get the upset. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that you know, Keyshawn, he going into this thing like he knows something, like they know something, like it's like this is just a foregone conclusion. And I'm like, yeah, it's one thing to be confident, but like, man, if it was an upset, which is this is the year of the underdog, right? If there is an upset, oh man, I can't wait to go back and see and hear some of these channels, man, because I know that biggest one, the Haney voice, they going to flip like shit on this man. Watch, like they do everybody else. They flip like shit on Tim Zoo. Y'all remember? Because everybody remember, because I was doing videos, the Soul Snatcher and this and that, and you know, and when Tim Zoo got his ass busted like a grape, oh man, they flipped on that man. And they had the audacity to ask. They sat down from Bakram Murtazalev. They sat down across from, had him on the show, and had the nerve to ask the man, was he cheating? So can De Los Santos really win this fight? If De Los Santos win this fight, are they going to ask him, man, are you taking anything? Did y'all have testing? Like, that's how they're going to make it. I'm telling you, man, boxing is so crazy that when the favorite and the powers that be, when their guy don't win or whatever, then you got to be cheating. That's just like, it's a certain community. You'll be surprised. It's a certain community. I'm just talking about online, a community that in my heart of hearts, I rock with them. In my heart of hearts, it's a channel, a group of people. In my heart of hearts, I rock with them. But when Fundora and Lubin fought, Lubin dropped him. First, he made him take a knee. Yeah, he made him take a knee. He hit him. He knew he was going to go down. He didn't want to take the onslaught. Like a smart fighter, he took the knee. He gathered himself. He got himself back together. And he commenced to doing, I think at one point in time, he hit Lubin with like 17 uppercuts. This channel that in my heart of hearts I rock with. They came out and said, oh man, we gotta, y'all notice how Fundora ain't take his glove off, and oh man, he cheated, and people start saying Fundora. I said, man, we gotta stop that, man. The black, like I said, especially like us, man, like, cause they always be wanting to insinuate that we be cheating. I said, we got to stop doing that. But I noticed that certain people can accuse other people of juicing and doping and cycling off. But then other people, if you say, it's like, how dare you say that? So if Edwin were to clip Keyshawn and this shit go sideways, watch out for the whole, man. Was it testing for this? Did you drug test him? Like, what did y'all use? Vada, water, USADA, your mama? I'm telling you, man, because that's how they did Tim Zoo. They straight, man, they had Tim Zoo on the show. They were doing interviews. They were talking to him. That man got his ass busted. They flipped on him. They do that to everybody. I forgot Bodywork. Who did De Los Santos beat to make it a good chance to beat Key? He beat El Rayo. He beat El Rayo. And that's not good enough. If you stop a dude and that dude go and beat somebody like a De Los Santos, I mean like a Isaac Pitbull Cruz, that's not good enough? Or is that good enough? Is that good enough, Johnny? I don't know. I think if you stop somebody and they go on to beat Chris Colbert and they the experience of being he did gain the experience of being in the ring with Shakur. But if you got to go back and look at that Willie Foster, he fought him, right? That was his first time in the States, but that fight was so close to where it was like, I mean, I think I think that fight probably could have went either way. Joseph Adorno, he fought Joseph Adorno too, and he looked like that's the fight you need to go back and watch. Even though Adorno is not Keyshawn, like it's gonna be hard to imagine him fighting somebody with the kind of style that Keyshawn has, right? Because of how like his punch selection and how he set it up and all that. But like that Joseph Adorno fight, that'll be the fight that you probably want to go look at, because that's where he showed there. Whereas I said, man, I bet on De Los Santos to stop him, man. I was like, man, damn, man, he messed up my parlay. And then I was looking at it and I was like, well, maybe he knows he got this fight coming up and he didn't want to risk like looking bad. But like he actually he boxed and then he fought in spurts. And then he showed resolve and patience. Like that's what's scary. Like I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Man. It's either gonna get hot and heavy real quick, or once Keyshawn feel that work in there, it's gonna become boxing. You're gonna see something different where he actually gonna be standing there boxing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, only other thing is, man, Keyshawn is going in and just step on him, like just step all over him, man. But I don't, I'm thinking that could be dangerous, man. But go back and look at the Joseph Adorno fight, because I felt like he could have really stepped on him, but he boxed him and just beat. It was a good Resendiz, man. He Resendiz that. He gave him a good Resendiz, man. That's my new shit, man. That Resendiz, man. I'm gonna give you one of these Resendiz. Yeah, that's a good for no knockdowns and a good beatdown. That's a Resendiz. So that's the standard now, a Resendiz. For a no knockdown fight but a thorough, systematic beatdown. That is a Resendiz. You know what I'm saying? So what he did to Adorno was a Resendiz. Anyways, y'all know I'm addicted to talking this boxing talk, man. I just wanted to come out here, man, and say, man, I don't know who's predator and who's prey, but we gonna find out in about 2 days. I appreciate everybody who came through and hollered at me, man. You know I love talking this boxing, man. Support the channel, man. Hit the like button. Hit the dislike button if you dislike it. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself. Be yourself. If you don't like it, hit the dislike. If you like it, hit the like. If you want to support me, hit the Cash App. Hit the Super Chat. This is one of them channels that got it out. I can't reiterate this anymore, y'all. It's important that y'all help channels like mine because I did not link up. I did not click up with nobody. I didn't have to sit on Santa Claus' lap and play with his beard. I didn't have to join a cult. I got all of my subscribers one by one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people feel like they don't have to support me or they shouldn't. But you should support me, man. I got, like, you talking about somebody getting it out the mud. You talking about somebody with all these communities, all these cliques, all these people that get together and be like, hey, man, plug me in. Do you know this? All these people that network and do all those things. I didn't do any of that. I did it by myself. It's okay to support this channel, man. It shows that you support the little guys, the guys that ain't. And I still, you know, I got my watch hours. I got all my subscribers the way I monetize. I stay monetized. I never not, since I got monetized, I never not been monetized. So support the channel, man. At least share the videos, comment, you know what I'm saying? You know, subscribe. But like, this is one of them where I didn't join a whole cult and say, hey, man, subscribe. Even though people be biting my shit, man, you should subscribe. You should support this channel because this is what pissed me off. People use the stuff that this channel do and they get paid for it. That's why you should support this one. And I don't ever be asking or nothing, but I find it offensive that people be using the shit out of stuff that they hear and see on this channel, from thumbnails to ideas to remixing all my shit, and then they get paid for it, but I don't. That's the bot. That's like, okay, I don't care if they like to steal and all that, but you paying, you super chat and you pay them. You hit their Cash App and pay them, but you don't support this channel. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. Support the little guys who got it out the mud and it's not for sale, man. They've been holding it 10 times. You know what I'm saying? I've been holding it 10 toes down since I've been on here. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.